What up? I'm Josh Paulison, and welcome to Your Story Now. Today, I want to talk about what to do when you have a negative gut reaction to your own work. I've been in this situation, and I've been in it when other people loved my work. In this case, it was my musical, The Legend of Sir Cumference. So, this project goes back quite a few years, and it just felt wrong. And other people weren't saying the things that I felt like were wrong, and maybe it was just the conversation hadn't gone there. I don't know, but it hadn't come up in conversation, and I knew something was off. And here are some things that I had to work with in order to figure out what was wrong and in order to move forward, and hopefully these will help you as well. Number one was I had to establish my fundamentals. Now, what do I mean by that? Everyone has different approaches with writing, and I talk all about mine in this series. But if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, if you don't know why you develop characters the way that you do, why you write your story the way that you do, then when something goes wrong, you're not going to know how to fix it. If you don't know what works right for you and you can't express that, you won't be able to express to others or to yourself why things are going wrong. In my case, the main character felt flat. But as far as I saw, that was the best way to have the story move as it was, and things just fell off with the characters in general, and I wasn't sure how to fix it. Once I began establishing my fundamentals and going, okay, here's how stories work, here's how characters work, I was able to go and say, here's where I broke away from these rules, and here's why this isn't working. And the second thing really is you need to explore where you have negative gut reactions. Because here's one of the things is that when you have a negative reaction to something in your story, there can kind of be well, it's not that big of a deal. At least that was for me. It's not that big of a problem. But you really need to establish and confirm, why do I feel this way? And for you, that might be saying, well, where am I good with the story? What do I like about it? For example, in The Legend of Sir Cumference, like, I didn't have a problem with the villain per se. In a way, it was just, it kind of, certain things just felt off, and it was something that was hard for me because when I looked at aspects, I didn't have a negative gut reaction. I didn't have a problem with the overall concept or with the theme. My negative gut reaction was with characters. It was throughout. And when you have a negative gut reaction kind of underlying, it gets really hard to look at, well, why is this happening? And so here's something else that I'd recommend is explore what you do like. And the reason why I say this, even when you're trying to figure out what's wrong with your story, is that if you're not sure what's wrong, figure out what's right. Is it the characters? Is it the story? And if you're not sure, then that really goes back to number one. Because if you're not able to express what's wrong, you won't be able to fix what's wrong. If you're not able to express what's right and what's working, then in the future, when something breaks, you won't be able to fix it. I like how Andy Stanley puts it. It's in a very different context, and he's a pastor, but for him, it's he wanted to know why things were working when they were working, so that when they broke, he would know why they broke. And I think this is a great concept that you can take to writing and to other areas as well. If you don't know why what you're doing works when it works, if you've created projects that other people love and you're not sure why, go and explore why. Compare it to other works. Study media, study projects that are very different from what you're doing, and try to find the underlying commonalities. That's what I did, and that's what I compile in this whole video series. But it's not just about following my own advice and following my own ideas. It's figuring out what are the fundamentals that work for you, that are helping you create your great stories, and make sure that you understand why they work, so that when they break, when your gut says something's wrong, you can express it and you can fix the problem. Thanks, and have a great day.